YouTube. Uh, Welcome to my channel, Life with the Murphy Family. I am your host, Alexis Murphy. So, hello guys, how are y'all doing today? I do apologize because I am 25 weeks and I did not do a video for 24 weeks. So, I'm going to make this video, excuse me, I'm going to make this video labeled 25 weeks. I just turned 25 weeks today. Got to check on the baby. The baby is doing fine. He is doing amazing. He's doing a lot of activity, I can tell you that. But I am 25 weeks today. And I say, you know what? Let me get this video on YouTube. I be struggling to get these videos up because, ugh, I do. But I'm determined to keep my YouTube channel going. And as time progresses, things will get more interesting and stuff like that. But whew, I'm here. But yes, I am 25 weeks, and y'all look at that belly like a basketball, don't it? Oh my gosh, another big baby. So y'all, most of my babies, all of my babies that I've had. So this will be technically, it'll be my eighth child that I birthed. One passed away, but all of my babies was 7, 8, and 9. Two of them came early, and if they would have stayed in longer, they would have probably been 8 or 9 pounds. And it's like the longer they stay in the womb, the bigger they get. So yes, I have birthed 7, 8, and 9 pound babies. So I know at 25 weeks and I'm this big, I know it's gonna be another big baby. But it's all good. But anyway, guys, I just want to speak from the heart. This video is gonna be about, and this video is gonna be about pregnant women. I really want to speak to pregnant women, and I've made a video about this before in my last little playlist, and I'm gonna revisit the title, "Handling Stress While Pregnant." I really want to talk to pregnant women and how we have to learn to not let the stresses of life, having other children, marriage problems, work problems, family issues, beefing with friends, whatever it may be, we as pregnant women have to learn to protect our space. And I know y'all probably heard that, like birthing space, but even when you're pregnant, you have to learn how to protect your space. And you have to learn how to guard your heart and protect your sanity. And I'm telling you, if you don't, stress will kill you and the baby. And then if the baby survives, every characteristic that you acted out during that pregnancy, that baby picked it up, it's going to come out with that kind of characteristics. I know that for a fact. My first home birth baby, Zariah, I was so scared. I cried a lot because I was walking into something that I didn't know about. And I just took a leap of faith and did a home birth. And she was born in 2020. I was still grieving. I just lost Zane in 2019. So now when I look at Zariah, she is a crybaby. She's a sweetheart. She's funny. But I see that characteristic in her of my stress. I cried a lot with her. A lot. The things that I was going through and the fears that I had. And I see that characteristic in her. She cries over anything. If she can't get away, she crying. If somebody bothering her, she crying. She just cried about everything. And she thinks that crying is the solution. And I have to tell her, like, honey, don't do all that crying. I can't stand all that whining. But at the same time, I try to meet her in the middle because she's a child. And then I have to reflect, that's me. I tell myself that's me. So no talking, kids. I'm doing a video. See what I'm saying? And you still have to smile and keep it going. Even dealing with kids. I have 6. And it could be a journey. But anyway, like I was saying, we as pregnant women, we have to learn how to deal with stress while pregnant. And I want you to know this. Life don't stop because you're pregnant. Things come up. Finances, kids, anything can come up. Death of a loved one. And in the midst of all of that, you have to learn. You have to make up your mind that, hey, I'm going to protect myself because I can't give in to this stress because I have another life that is dependent on me to stay healthy and take care of myself so they can thrive while they're in the womb. And is that easy? No, it's not. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to put down stress and just, you got this problem in front of you. What do you do? What do you do? And so you have to figure out a way to stay calm in the midst of the storm because you got to put your focus on, I got to sacrifice. Even though I'm feeling this way, I have to sacrifice my feelings so this baby could get here healthy. So I'm going to get spiritual with y'all. The best way to handle stress is faith in God. Or I call him Yahuwah, that's his Hebrew name. The best way to handle stress is to cast your cares on him and know that he cares for you and know that he cares for your unborn baby. Okay, so I know how this world is changing and the things that's going on in this world, that it could be hard to even focus on your pregnancy. It could be hard, but you got to remember who created the life. Even though the egg and the sperm came together, it's the Lord that grew the seed. So you got to always remember that too. And so once you can remember who created this through faith, you're going to be like, Lord, you know what? I'm going to be all right. And it lifts the stress off of you or whatever you're dealing with. And another thing, excuse me, my throat been like this since I've been pregnant. Another thing that us as believers have to realize, you got to understand the warfare that's going on in the spiritual realm when a baby is born. If you read in the scriptures of Jeremiah, he said, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And I ordained you a prophet among nations. So every child, before they were born, they was with the Lord. So the Lord knew us before we came down in this earthly realm. And that's what we have to realize when we carry a life. And you got to understand this too. Satan hates life. The devil hates life. He hates, especially if you're in a union. If you're in a marriage and you're trying to do things the Lord's way, Satan hates life. And he will use every stress around you to possibly make you miscarry. That's how evil the devil is. That's how evil he is. And we as believers, especially carrying a life and know that God has ordained this baby and got plans for this baby, we have to cast our cares on him. And then we have to pick up our war clothes in war and realize what's going on. Because the devil don't like life. And if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. If you give in to, even you could be in a situation where you ain't got money and you ain't got all the resources to take care of the child. You know, the first thing the enemy want to tell you, you may be pregnant with a man pregnant with a man's child that you don't want, that you're angry. And that's why you have to cover yourself, because the enemy will lead you to do things that you shouldn't do. It's all about destroying the life that you're carrying. It's all about destroying that man of God or that woman of God that you are carrying. That's what we have to focus on. And in my hard times with this pregnancy, I've had to put down any stresses that I've been going through, and I had to just give it all to the Lord and realize that this baby has a calling on his life. And that's how, and then you got to look at it like this. How does God get his message out? How does he get the word out? The woman births the prophets. If you look all throughout the Bible, all the great prophets, they had a mama. And God knew their destiny before they even knew their own destiny. So we are birthers. We birth the prophets. We birth God's messengers. And we have to keep our minds on that. That's the higher picture. And we also have to understand the spiritual warfare that's going on against the unborn child. The devil hates when a couple's or a single mom, whoever, they hate when you say, I'm going to birth this baby. They'd rather you go somewhere and abort and take that life. Or they'll put you in a situation, Satan, he'll put you in a situation where you're so stressed out and you miscarry. It's real, y'all. It's real. So you have to learn how to use your spiritual tools and make a decision that I'm going to get this baby here with the help of the Lord. I am not going to let stress take over me. I'm going to conquer it. And then by the end, before you know it, you'll be done walk through that and you're looking back like, wow, how did I make it through that? And then at the end of the journey, there you have a beautiful baby in your arms. And you know that you're supposed to be folding. And you know you're supposed to be holding your head down. But God carried you to that moment to hold your baby. And then that's just part of the journey. You got to nurture them, raise them. You got to rededicate them back to the one that gave you the baby. And that's the Lord. So understand that if you feel stressed, if you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, woman that's carrying a baby, look to the hills from which cometh your help. Walk by faith and not by sight. Don't walk by what you see in front of you and let it make you fold. Don't even let, if you even got bad health while you're pregnant, understand why the enemy is attacking your health. It's all to do what? Destroy the baby. You have to lean on the Lord for your healing. You have to trust God for your healing and the baby. You got to think above this natural realm. You got to think spiritual. That's what's been keeping me through this pregnancy. Is thinking above what I see. Is thinking above what I feel. And every time I reach above what I see, I feel better. I'm looking forward to holding baby Zakiah. I listen to the plans that God has for this child. And that's what keeps me going. And even after you give birth, I was sharing a story with a friend of mine about some of the stresses that I've dealt with in the past of being pregnant. And she always tells me this. She's a dear friend of mine. She always tells me, she said, Alexis, it's by the grace of God that you made it through to have as many kids as you have. And do you know there is another stage after having a baby? It's you dealing with, after you have a baby, first you have to let your body heal. Then your chemicals, I feel like your mind and brain is just everywhere. It's like a puzzle that you have to put back together. And then why are you putting your puzzle together? This is my perspective of after having a baby. And why are you putting your puzzle back together? You know you still gotta take care of that baby. And so women deal with postpartum. We have to struggle with that. Our feelings is easy to get hurt. We have to push off depression. I've read so many stories where women committed suicide, end up harming their baby because of those thoughts that come after you have a baby. And so I was sharing some of my story with her, and she was just like, it's by the grace of God that kept you in your right mind. And I'm so grateful to have shared the story with her. And then to look back, I've had 7 babies. I've had one to die. That's a heartbreaking thing. Very young baby. And then after he died, I still had more. And I look back as she was saying those words. I'm like, Lord, you did keep me. You did keep me. I can only remember one child that I struggled with just a little postpartum, and that's by my third child, which was Zoe. I think I struggled with a little postpartum, a little disattachment from the baby. And I see that now. I do. But as I see it, I'm working on repairing that. And when God show you some things about your children and where you failed at, we can't be afraid to say, hey, this is where this come from. Thank you, God, for showing me. I'm going to repair this. So that's the only one that I can remember really just struggling mentally with postpartum and disattachment. But we go through so much even after. Our bodies have to come back together. And we still got other children, marriage, other things that we have to get back up and be that. And so I'm just encouraging you. Rely on his strength. Remember, when stress comes, lay your feelings down. You may want to react to the stress. You may want to get revenge. But remember, you ain't just living for you. You living for your baby. Remember that. So I just wanted to share this from my heart to all pregnant moms. God bless you. And stay encouraged. Stay uplifted. Keep your eyes on the prize. Understand the spiritual warfare against babies. Understand it. Understand how precious life is. So I'm almost there. I'm at 25 weeks. I'm excited. I'm ready to see this baby because, I won't say it all, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, y'all. It's been a journey, but my Father has been so good to me. And as I go further and further in the weeks, I will reveal a little bit more about what the Holy Spirit been telling me about this pregnancy, how I'm going to deliver. So I'm excited. I'm excited to meet baby Zakaya. So guys, God bless y'all. I'm going to get off here because y'all, I'm telling you, I be tired. I be tired. And then just about every day I take them kids to the park. We get out the house. And then you got 6 little babies with full of energy. Oh my gosh. But what I do, I rely on his strength. But anyway, God bless y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Till next time. Hopefully I won't I'll upload 26. I'll be tired, y'all. But anyway, y'all stay blessed and thank y'all for tuning in and watching this video. Bye-bye.